Hello wine lovers and hola amigos. My name is Blake. I'm a sommelier from the United States of America, but now I live in South America, more specifically Manta, Ecuador. And in this part of the world, it's getting ready to change from winter into spring and summer, which means you should be drinking a certain kind of wine. And I'm going to tell you what that is. Stick around because this is Gringo Wine Guy. So, what kind of wine should you be drinking in spring and summer? There's lots of options, and I'm sure you have your own opinion, just as I have my own opinion. What say I? I say rosé. Let's go get some. Bodega Salentín is located in Mendoza, Argentina. The soil in this region is sandy and loamy, and the weather dry with very hot days and very cool nights. The presence of over 900 bodegas, which are wineries, and 145,000 hectares of vineyards explains why this region is the most important winemaking area of the country of Argentina. The Portillo line of wines from Bodega Salentín has received many trophies and awards, including critical acclaim from the Wine Advocate, Wine Spectator, and Wine Enthusiast. It has been recommended by many publications, such as the Miami Herald. Today, we're going to find out just what Gringo Wine Guy thinks about Portillo Rosé. So there's a little information on Bodega Salentín and the Portillo wines. As you can see, I've selected a fantastic Rosé of Malbec today. And I'd like to just take a minute to speak about rosé itself. Some people, at least in the United States, seem to be off-put simply by the color. A lot of people, when they see this color, they think of wines like White Zinfandel, which to some people ruined the wine industry, but to the wine industry perhaps saved it when they utilized Zinfandel grapes to make that sweet pink wine, which obviously a lot of people love. It's important to know that rosé gets its color from the skins of the grapes, which is why you will not see a rosé of Chardonnay or a rosé of Sauvignon Blanc. But when you have red grapes, or black grapes as they may be known, you can in fact have partial skin contact with the juice and make a rosé wine such as this. It is possible, however, to make a white wine from red grapes and have a white color. The best example would be in Champagne, which can be made from Chardonnay, we know that's white grape, but also Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, which are both red grapes. And if you ever had a Champagne known as Blanc de Noir, which literally means in French, the white of blacks, that is a sparkling Champagne that is white, but made from Pinot Noir of black grapes, the white of blacks. So today we have a true dry rosé from Mendoza, Argentina, Portillo Rosé Malbec. When it's getting warm outside and you want a refreshing wine, such as Rosé of Malbec, it's important to be able to get the bottle open quickly. And that's why I love this bottle. Has a Stelvin enclosure, but you probably know it as a screw cap. And just like that, we've got fresh wine. So when talking about the color of rosé wine, it's really dependent upon how much time the juice itself spent in contact with the skins of the grapes. The lesser amount of time, obviously a more pale salmon color, longer amount of time, darker, more orange color, if you will. This is pretty typical of a dry rosé, this real nice salmon color, a little bit of orange hues in the middle and clear on the edge. It's a lovely wine, looks beautiful. And again, this is 100% Malbec that has been fermented with partial skin contact to give it that lovely salmon color. And this is a wine that normally you wouldn't want to drink a Malbec itself at a 45, 46 degrees like this wine is now. But it's made in this rosé style. It's wonderful. Enjoy the characteristics of those red grapes, but in a refreshing, cool style because you're drinking the wine as if it were white in color at this temperature. Well, there's fresh citrus fruit aromas. One of the hallmarks of a rosé, dry rosé like this, grapefruit, maybe even pink grapefruit. I know that sounds corny, but more specifically pink grapefruit than grapefruit, which maybe has a little bit sweeter undertone in the aromas than a straight grapefruit would. I definitely get that in this wine. There's also some Sauvignon Blanc-y type lemon characteristics, maybe a little bit of lime, but pretty dominant on the pink grapefruit character. Now, if this were a still Malbec that were not made in a rosé style, obviously the aromatics would be much different than they are now, but the fact that the wine is made this way with partial skin contact and coming out this color and served at this cooler temperature changes it all up. But it smells very nice for a young rosé. I think it's time to taste. Well, it is a dry rosé. Boy, that's really fantastic. So another thing I love about rosés so much is that on the palate, you really get the red wine, red fruit character, even though you're enjoying it at this cooler, chilled temperature and in this style. I almost feel like I get a taste of oak on here. I know that's hard to believe, but this has almost a rich, creamy mid-palate with an oak influence. There's a very distinct flavor, and I might need another taste or two to really pick that up. Creamy strawberry, somewhere between strawberry and mango. If you put the two together, I think you've got a good example of what this wine tastes like right now. It's really nice. The mid palate makes it seem not dry, but the finish of this wine is dry. I like what they've done with this wine, and this is a young vintage itself. Well, not necessarily, 2019. This right now is October of, well, it's late September of 2021, so this wine's about a year in bottle, year and a half in bottle. And it still tastes fresh, but it's got nice components. It's got nice complexity even. That's maybe something that you don't really talk about or recognize in a rosé wine. And as you saw in the earlier video when I was shopping for this wine, $11 at Mega Maxi Mall del Pacifico. This is very refreshing. This is something you guys need to check out. So my wife Wendy was just here, but she refused to be on camera. But I'm going to tell you what she told me because it makes a lot of sense. She gets flavors of berries, blackberry and blueberry, maybe even plum, which makes sense because those are all flavors that I would associate with the Malbec grape. And it's just very interesting to taste it at this temperature and this flavor profile. Really unique and interesting wine. Portillo Malbec Rosé, Uco Valley, which is Mendoza, Argentina. A lovely wine. This holds a fine balance between rich and creamy, and then crisp and dry. It's right in the middle there, has a good balance. And this is certainly something that can be enjoyed in the hot summer months here in Manta, Ecuador, as we get into December and January. Those are the hottest months of the year here. So flip-flop that 6 months in the United States when you're in July and August. This is something you're going to enjoy. This is probably something you will be able to find relatively easily in the United States, as this is a fairly well-known South American producer. I just have never had any Rosé of Malbec. It's certainly not from Bodega Salentín and the Portillo lineup. This gets 2 thumbs up from Gringo Wine Guy. Thanks for watching. Adios.